Good morning. It is Monday, June 20th. I'm Shane Seeley, and this is the CBC Morning Report. Now, families here in Barbados may have to brace for additional costs in burying their loved ones because of fuel costs. They're not only impacting the cost of living, but the cost of burials as well. Or Wendy Burke spoke to Peter Griffith, the director of Lyndhurst Funeral Home, and he may have to make some drastic increases at all levels to the funeral business, from taxing to cremation. He says they have absorbed most of the increases, but they no longer can.
Firstly, let's deal with the vehicles. Obviously, the cost affects the taxi operation tremendously. The cost of fuel has gone up well over 100%. And the rates are controlled by government. They are set by the licensing authority. Now, so you can't really change your income, but your outflow of cash is going out, and the taxi drivers are hurting. There's no two ways about that. We are doing an assessment now, and we believe that it will not be worth their while functioning in that kind of environment. Something has to be done quickly, and a drastic increase in order to get these people make a living for themselves. Our system is a franchise system, and therefore it is the actual independent taxi drivers that are getting the lash on that one.
Okay. Now, in terms of the cars that families utilize for the funeral services, how are those fuel costs going to impact on them and the cost of the services you render them?
That cost, of course, is going to be passed on. But I mean, that's one trip or two trips for the family. So the impact on the actual cost of the funeral is not as devastating as the ones for where a taxi is operating on a frequent basis.
Okay, and the crematorium?
That is the issue. That is where we get some serious increase. Between between April and May, the cost went up by 155% for liquid petroleum, LPG, liquid petroleum gas. That is an enormous increase. We have to adjust the cost of cremations as of July 1st. We really cannot sit back and absorb that cost. That is definitely going to impact the cost of cremations.
And when we're talking about an impact, can we as yet give a percentile as to what that impact will be?
No, I'm about to send out a letter to funeral directors now, advising of the increased costs. Our accounts department is actually working on what that would be. We did an assessment on that earlier this week, and I believe that we are just going to pass on the fuel costs, of course, but we have to analyze exactly how it works and relates to each cremation. So I would have that information early next week, and we will be sending a letter out.
Do you think it would be to the point and effect that individuals might now opt not to want to be cremated?
I wouldn't like to second guess it, but it certainly will bring the cost of burials and cremations into the same bracket, so to speak.
Okay, now let's look at the other vehicles you use outside of the taxi and the hearse, which use fuel. You also have the equipment which maintains your cemetery, which helps to dig the graves that you have. Is there anything you can do in terms of fuel efficiencies to help you contain those costs?
Not really. When you think about it, you have to maintain lawns, the tractor drive mowers that we use, and then the excavators for excavating the graves. It has to be done. It is already run at a fairly efficient manner. And when you look at how you're going to save costs, you really can't unless you stop what you're doing. But we can't. So that is a cost that is there for the general public as well. We are hoping that will not have too much of an impact. It certainly wouldn't have the impact it's having on cremation, because cremation is largely based on the fuel costs.
That's our Wendy Burke there in that report, speaking to the chairman of Lyndhurst Group of Companies, Peter Griffith. Of course, we have more news coming your way here on the Morning Report. We'll focus on the COVID-19 pandemic and what is happening with the war in Ukraine. Let's look at the local COVID-19 numbers now. A total of 73 people, 34 males and 39 females, tested positive for COVID-19 from the 484 tests carried out on June 18th by the Best Dos Santos Public Health Laboratory. The number of people in isolation facilities was 25, while 924 people were in home isolation. One person, an 87-year-old female, succumbed to the virus, bringing the number of COVID-19 related deaths to 472. The total number of people fully vaccinated here in Barbados stands at 153,231. Over in Guyana, the Ministry of Health has advised that it is safe to remove the COVID-19 testing requirements for incoming travelers. A report from news source Guyana emphasizes that the requirement of vaccination certificates for travelers still remains.
In a statement today, the Ministry of Health announced that with effect from Saturday, persons traveling to Guyana will no longer be required to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 test result. However, all travelers must show proof of being fully vaccinated against COVID-19. The move by the Ministry of Health comes as it continues to try to get more persons vaccinated against the virus as cases continue to climb. More than 86% of Guyana's adult population has received at least one shot of the COVID-19 vaccine, while 67% of the country's adult population is now fully vaccinated. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony explained the decision made by the ministry.
We felt very comfortable that we can now remove the requirement for antigen or PCR testing. However, we will still maintain for travelers into Guyana, we'll still maintain that they have to produce their vaccination cards before they're allowed on the plane. So that we still have that requirement.
Last weekend, Guyana started the vaccination of children between the ages of 5 and 11 years old. And based on the last COVID-19 report, there are more than 900 active cases of the virus in Guyana. The hospitalization rate remains very low. The pandemic has claimed more than 1,200 lives in the country since its first detection 2 years ago.
The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has approved COVID-19 vaccines for children as young as 6 months old, allowing a nationwide rollout starting next week.
America's last remaining age group has been approved for the jab. Millions of doses have been ordered for distribution and will be available from next week. Dr. William Schaffner is a professor of infectious diseases at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. He says paediatricians have been eagerly waiting for this moment.
You know, if we just look at these children aged 6 months through 4 years of age, up to their 5th birthday, thinking back just in the United States, over 20,000 of them have been hospitalized. There have been over 200 deaths in children. This is an opportunity to prevent children, small children, from dying. And so it's very exciting. The American Academy of Pediatrics, as well as the CDC and people such as myself, are enthusiastic about this and are going to be encouraging parents to bring their children into their doctors to be vaccinated. First of all, they're safe. That's very important. Parents mostly want to know about that. And then on the effectiveness side, they should have a level of effectiveness against severe disease, keeping children out of the hospital, comparable to what we have for older children, adolescents, and young adults. In other words, we think that they'll be about 80% effective. That's about as good as we can get with our current generation of vaccines. There will be, according to our surveys, about a quarter of parents who will bring their children in very promptly because they've been waiting for this. And then the vast majority will be a bit more cautious. And we urge them to go to their doctors, their family doctors, their pediatricians, ask their questions to the point that they feel comfortable in doing that.
Focusing on the war in Ukraine now, the NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg warns that the war could drag on for years and is calling for the supply of more state-of-the-art weaponry for Ukrainian troops. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian president has been condemning Russia for their blockade on the seaports. You hear more in this report.
We will not give away the south to anyone. We will return everything that's ours, and the sea will be safe, both in Mykolaiv and in Odessa. I held meetings with our military and officials who are responsible for the defence and functioning of these two regions. I have listened to their reports on the destruction caused by Russian strikes. The losses are significant and there are many issues. I have commissioned officials to assist people who have lost loved ones. We will definitely restore everything that was destroyed. Russia does not have as many missiles as our people have a desire to live.
Well, the EU Special Representative for Human Rights has visited the devastating towns of Irpin and Bucha. Eamon Gilmore says the world can't turn a blind eye to the crimes committed during Russia's invasion. The EU Human Rights Committee is working in close cooperation with Ukrainian authorities as well as the United States to address atrocities committed inside Ukraine.
We cannot shrug our shoulders and say, you know, this is part of a conflict. These are crimes, and crimes have to be investigated and those responsible brought to account.
Let's go over to the man now who has been holding down the fort while I have been out right here on Morning Barbados. Pearson, good morning to you. Good to see you. How are things looking on this Monday edition of your show?
Shane, good morning to you. Good to see you as well. Things are looking pretty nice actually from this side of the world. Welcome back. Coming up this morning when you join me at 6:30 for Morning Barbados, we'll share with you a little concept known as Neighbours in Boots. That's when a community comes together for the benefit of all. It's a really nice story. Can't wait to share that with you. Also today we'll share with you some information on the BDF's charity fun walk and run as they continue to raise funds, but for what purpose? You'll find out as well. And then it was his idea and it has become now a global catchphrase. Who is he and what is it? I won't tell you. I want you to join me at 6:30 when we share the details about this also very inspiring story. So do join me at 6:30 for that. For Morning Barbados, good morning again to you, Shane.
Yes, 15 minutes time, you will be joining Pearson on the show. A lot of interesting information and stories to be shared on today's edition. We'll take a break here. We have some more stories coming your way, and we'll tell you what young Barbadians are thinking about how we should address chronic non-communicable diseases here in Barbados. That story and more up next. Young Barbadians giving their own ideas about how Barbados should deal with non-communicable diseases and the crisis. As our Rianne Phillips tells us in this report, they have expressed their thoughts in drawings and words during the Queen Elizabeth Hospital's Dietary Department School Essay and Poster Competition.
Just over 50 students, ranging from toddlers to teens, have some ideas about how we should deal with the NCD crisis. The youngest of them is Rachel Berry. She was 3 at the time of submission, but now she's 4. Her poster shows her interpretation of a healthy pizza.
What did you draw first on the pizza? The yellow. What's the yellow? The yellow is the?
Cheese.
Good. And after cheese, what did you put at the top?
Olives.
Yes, lettuce, because that's the green lettuce. And then after that, what are the round things you drew? And there are 2 different colors.
Tomatoes.
Oh, the red one, yes, would be the tomatoes. And then you had 2 types of?
Almonds.
Or olives, which one?
Olives.
Olives. And what else is on the pizza? The red fruit?
Strawberries.
Strawberries.
The submissions of 14-year-olds Asiya Apollo of the Law School and homeschool student Kenya Alling focus on the importance of active lifestyles and diets.
My poster, it has a form of a not a Bajan, but an African girl, and she's thinking about what she's going to eat throughout home, at school, and at play.
I developed this concept with a lot of thought, and it is very colorful in the background because it represents fruit, and it also has a fruit backsplash, which I think is very good in promoting healthy eating. It also has pictures of little kids or teenagers conducting daily activities which are healthy. One is running and kicking a ball, which gives you exercise. One is at school lifting her hand up because she is mentally healthy, and one is doing chores at home because she wants to help out.
In their essays, 10-year-old Sebastian Matthews and 14-year-old McKenna Clark have out-of-the-box ideas.
Supermarkets having bigger stalls for fruits and vegetables. Technology that you can just put on your arm and it'll put nutrients into your body.
I put forth that the government can provide Bajans with starter kits for kitchen plants such as thyme and parsley, and then I did that they can create an app and like a nutrition app. And then I also did that they can do little free clinics like the vaccination drives, and it will help them do basic checkups and tests for NCDs.
Schools also receive cash prizes to assist with healthy projects. Organizers are hoping to expand the competition next year. Rianne Phillips, CBC News.
Pamela Edwards, remember that name. She is the winner of the 2022 Caribbean Catalyst Craigner Scholarship Award. Edwards, a final year accounting student at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which affected her mobility. But despite these challenges, she's determined to finish her degree by December this year.
MS indeed had delayed the completion of my degree program, but I never give up. The scholarship would offer assistance in covering these financial expenses associated with completing the degree. I encourage anyone who has a disability to never stop dreaming and pursuing those dreams. You are here for a purpose. Indeed, we are all here for a purpose. You are capable of accomplishments and achievements, so go after them.
Now, the managing director of Caribbean Catalyst Incorporated, Ross Jackson, believes the COVID-19 pandemic has made the award, now in its 18th year, even more urgent and important.
Many people with disabilities are by nature of their disability more susceptible to contracting viruses. They need to be adequately protected, to be given the opportunities to develop their abilities, and then be encouraged to find meaningful employment. Finding meaningful work was central to what Craig represented and how he made an amazing contribution to the organization 2 decades ago. This is, to me, the essence of his legacy.
Rosalind Jackson there speaking. She's the manager of Catalyst Caribbean, Inc. One professor of social science in Grenada is warning political parties against ignoring voters who think their vote will not matter. As the general elections in Grenada draw near, Dr. Damien Graves believes the voting population should be educated more on the struggle to attain these rights. GBN reports.
For some eligible voters, it isn't a matter of which party to vote for, but instead, whether to vote at all. Disillusionment with the democratic process has left some feeling as though their vote makes very little difference to how the country is run or to their daily lives.
Yeah. Do not ignore those people who simply feel that voting is nothing. What does that have to do with me? Sometimes I marvel when I speak to people, and my own students in political science at St. George's University would say, well, I don't need to vote because my vote can't change anything. You would be amazed.
Professor of Social Science at the St. George's University, Dr. Damien Greaves, says voters who are feeling disillusioned must remember the many sacrifices our forefathers made to even make it possible for us to walk into a polling station to cast a vote on June 23rd.
And the fact is, we have to find a way to make people understand and appreciate what obtained for us to be in a position now to have the facility to vote for a government of our choice. We could not do that many centuries ago. Many years ago, we could not do that. And we struggled, and there was bloodletting, and there was bloodshedding, and there were strikes and demonstrations. A lot of things took place in order for us to reach this position where we have the comfort and the wherewithal to elect a government of our choice country.
He says the education system is responsible for teaching its citizens the importance of the democratic process. But more importantly, the political parties themselves should take responsibility for educating their followers and not just encouraging blind voting.
If people could only understand and appreciate by being educated, and who has to do the educating? Not just the education system, but political parties.
Parts of Europe are experiencing their hottest early summer temperatures in decades, with scientists blaming climate change. In Spain, temperatures have climbed to above 40 degrees Celsius. Meanwhile, southern England has they have issued a heat alert.
For a country that's made an art form of complaining about the usually wet weather, this heat gives people here something else to grumble about. But there's a seriousness about these soaring temperatures. Real concern about how climate change may start to affect people's everyday lives. In the French capital, sweltering heat's been worsened by pollution, making it dangerous for the vulnerable to go out. And in the Spanish capital, Madrid, where temperatures have exceeded 40 degrees Celsius for several weeks, the government's issued an extreme weather warning due to the presence of sand and dust from the Sahara Desert. Little comfort for those struggling to work outside. Climate scientists are in no doubt about why this is happening.
We're warming our climate generally, so the average temperatures have risen by just over 1 degree Celsius since the pre-industrial period, and that means that the hot extremes that we see every summer are becoming at least 1 degree hotter. They're also becoming more frequent, and they're also lasting longer.
And climate activists are threatening more decisive action to perceived inaction by governments and big business, similar to the Extinction Rebellion protests that shut down parts of central London a few years ago.
Sporting news now, some good news for the West Indies as they wrapped up an early first test with a first half-hour play on the fourth day to beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in Antigua. Leading just 35 more runs to win, John Campbell with 58 not out, and his vice-captain Jermaine Blackwood, who was unbeaten on 26, got the team past the target of 84, finishing on 88 for 3. Let's look at the highlights.
Split over should be first boundary of the morning.
Cut away. 50 partnership comes up.
With that boundary, 23 required. Over short and wide. There's a cracking cut from Campbell.
That one sneaks through. Excellent from John Campbell.
Just have to wait to see if that came off the bat. It might just be a third test match half century. It is for John Campbell and his first half century in the West Indies. And you were just mentioning, Secretary, how important this knock will be for him as we go deeper into the series. Excellent from the young man.
Certainly played well and deserved to get that 50. Nice sweep shot, just paddling down to final leg for 4.
That's it. That's the game. Finishes it off in style. John Campbell, a win for the West Indies in this opening test. And congratulations all around.
So the West Indies, they have an unassailable lead in the series, and they will take on Bangladesh in the second test in St. Lucia on Friday. There will be live coverage on MCTV's ESPN channel and Radio 94.7 FM, the best 24/7. Let's look at the weather now. The temperature right now, 27.6 degrees Celsius, slightly warmer here in Barbados as well. As we go through these summer months, it's cloudy and hazy on the outside. The relative humidity is 79%, the barometric pressure 1013.5 millibars, and the winds are coming out of the east-southeast at 35 kilometers per hour. Looking at the tides now, we'll see a high tide at 24 minutes past 8 this morning. There will be a low tide at 2 minutes to 3 in the afternoon. The seas are moderate in open water. Swells are between 1.5 and 2 meters and holding steady. Small craft operators and sea bathers are being told to exercise caution. Today in Barbados, it will be sunny with cloudy periods with a few brief isolated light showers, mainly during the afternoon. And tonight will be mostly cloudy with clear breaks, with occasional brief scattered light to moderate showers. And here is a look at the international weather forecast. And that's it for your Monday edition of the CBC Morning Report. I will see you at 7 with headline news. Up next is Pearson Bowen with Mornin Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
I say the same thing to all of you everywhere. Good morning to you too. It's Monday, the 20th of June, 2022. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you here, there, and everywhere. Always welcoming you on our YouTube channel and our Facebook streams as well, and encouraging you to like our Facebook page, Morning Barbados. That's exactly where we are. That's exactly where we post everything that we do here on Morning Barbados as well. So do like our page. You can interact with us there as well. Now this morning in the Queen's Mindset, battered, bruised, not broken, they're having an upcoming all-white Gatsby affair. What is that about? And we'll share with you about that. Plus, Christchurch Foundation School's PTA, they're having a big car wash and fundraiser this weekend. We want to encourage you to know more about that. Plus, we'll also be telling you a little bit about, a little bit of fun. Ask you to do something a little bit different as well. So look out for that opportunity too. This morning, the man whose idea it has been, the man whose story he'll tell in just a moment, the BDF's Charity Fun Walk and Run is on. We'll tell you about that. But let's get started by looking at Neighbors in Boots. Neighbors in Boots. What's that about? We're happy to be joined by these two, Maria and Aliyah Joseph. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning.
There you are. Is this mother and daughter?
Yes, it is.
All right. Now, there you are. Now, Maria, it has been your idea. You are the founder of Neighbors in Boots. I like the idea to begin with, the whole name of it, Neighbors in Boots. Tell me about what Neighbors in Boots represents.
Neighbors in Boots is a community garden. It was founded in June 2021. During the lockdown, we were, had nothing to do. So therefore, we start looking around at different areas that we can do safely. And we had identified that we had a massive clear park, and half of it was not being used. So we opted to, cultivate it and use it for root crops and vegetables and stuff like that. So that's how it came about, Neighbors in Boots.
So the neighbors donned their boots, they got their hoes and their forks and everything else, and they set about to use the plot to grow root crops. But it wasn't just simply to grow root crops and look at them and say, hey, look at what we've done, but to also share among yourselves, isn't it?
Yes, so we grow the crops, we share some among ourselves, and the excess crops, we also, we invite neighbors to purchase them at a reduced rate. So it's like we're actually getting some exercise, and we're actually producing products, and we are sharing them among the community as well too.
How is it getting them together? Because they could have said, Maria, that's your idea. You go out there in a hot sun and you deal with that. But then he said, you know what? No, we're going to don our boots as well. How is it trying to get the support of your neighbors to put on their boots and come out there and lend some strength to the effort?
Interesting enough, it was, it wasn't like we got neighbors that were a friend of mine and a friend of it was just random people that were walking on mornings, and they saw the activity going on, and they said, what's happening? And you explain what we are trying to establish, and they said, okay, interesting, and they joined. So and that did something as well. So that gave us like maintaining roots, and we built community spirit through that as well too. So it was not just, we chose some person that we know. People saw, community members saw us, and they opted to join,
Beautiful.
seeing
And
what we were doing.
so how was it difficult to get Aaliyah involved, or Aaliyah was one of those stubborn children who said, I am not messing up my nails, I am not joining that?
No, Aaliyah was quite, when I popped the idea to her, she was like, great mom, this sounds great, because she loves gardening as well too.
Oh really?
And then she opted to say, well, let's do a documentary on our progress, and that's where she came about.
Wow.
With the documentary.
Aaliyah, how has it been for you?
I have enjoyed every step of the way, and not every time did I have to get my hands dirty because I was behind the camera, you know. So, but it was nice to see the community and see my mother involving and doing something for everyone, you know. And I fit into it very easily,
And
I love every step of the way.
And you thought, you know what, I am not letting this moment pass, I'm going to get the camera, I'm going to film this. And so there must have been something about it really that made you think, you know, I'm going to grab the camera because this is too precious a moment to miss. So explain to me what you saw, explain to me the concept behind your film as well, so that we can understand when we watch it, what we see.
Well, originally I was at UE at the time, I was just graduated, and I said, this is a great opportunity for me to actually show it more amongst more people than just the community. So I decided I would do this for my thesis, or what we call capstone. So was a film student of the University of West Indies, and the documentary basically speaks. Everybody gets to say what their role is, why they chose to garden, especially as my mom stated, there was nothing to do. So everybody bond together. I went around getting other people that I saw on the street and just talked to them, and they had the same reasoning for doing their garden as well.
Wow.
Through the documentary, you will see, you know, all the steps that the neighbors in Boot took to get to this point. Others that were following along the same line.
This is truly a community effort, you know, not just one family. And what community are you in, so that those who are watching will get jealous? I think perhaps they want to take your idea and do something about in their area as well. What community are you in?
We are in Husbands Heights, St. James.
Nice, nice.
So yes, we would like other communities to do the same as well too. It should be really good for things like food security.
Now, one person is whispering in my ear, my technical producer saying, my technical director saying to me, top community, all behind the husbands community. So which is fantastic. So you're coming together beautifully as a set of people. Tell me what and you say that you would love other communities across the island to be able to replicate this. Let's talk about the benefit to a community by getting involved in Neighbors in Boots.
Yes, it's tremendous benefits because, as I said earlier, while doing it got us to even learn neighbors that we did not even know that existed. And not only just to be in a garden, but after a garden, after we did some reaping and along the stages, we have parties, right, to enjoy the garden work and stuff like that. So it's not just about just being in the garden. It's, you know, it's about socializing and seeing other projects. Like out of this same project that we did in the garden, we are looking at a composting project that we are calling Peel. So we are looking to launch that as well too. So to get more environmentally friendly with our refuse, so that we are try to separate our refuse to do some composting. So it's pretty interesting. One project propels other things to happen.
Yes.
And you know, it's kind of interesting and exciting, and when our neighbors behind our boots and we go into the garden, put down the papers and the different things that we do, it's really refreshing and very therapeutic.
I love it. One of our viewers is asking, is this that location because you're watching the film that Aaliyah did and they're thinking that's perhaps in the area just behind the Queen's College. Is that so?
Yes,
spot on. Our viewers have very sharp eyes indeed. And so, Aaliyah, for you, for young people, you know, oftentimes younger people think agriculture is not the way to go at all. And so what do you say to them, having had the experience yourself in the journey through Neighbors in Boots?
I said there's nothing wrong with going out there, getting your hands dirty, and reaping what you sow. You know, it brings joy to you. And I don't think it matters your age. I know people look at me when I say to that I go out there and garden. But it doesn't matter your age. Go have fun, get to know people, interact, and carry home food to eat. Enjoy it to your family. Post it, you know. You have social media now, you know, let it go further than just being in the garden and say do it. Let people come together, let people know, well, this is something young people can do also.
But you know,
Not just video.
while your film is called Therapeutic Soil, we're talking about food security. We're talking about, you know, given the tough times and given the fact that they're rising prices globally, this is also a very worthwhile effort that communities ought to get involved in, because together the community can battle some of these food prices. And as we struggle with non-communicable diseases as well, here's a very safe, friendly, but most of all, healthy way for us to be able to feed ourselves, don't you think?
We were first doing it, we had all the bigger rocks to separate. I really thought I had gone to the gym. I finished with moving them, and a matter of fact, we built a rock garden out of the rocks that we took out. So it's very therapeutic. We wake up early on mornings before we go to our jobs around 5:30, 6, and we go to the garden, and it's a joy just being there. You go, you talk a little bit, you do a little bit of work, you go back into your vehicle, and you come home and start work all over again. You know, it's really, really beautiful.
Oh, the Josephs, we are so very, very proud and pleased with what you've been able to do, because you are now a shining example of what a community can do when the community comes together. And so I hope this idea really now spurs other communities across the island to really, and I hope you've registered the name Neighbors in Boots, because somehow other people are going to grab onto this and do the same. Neighbors in Boots, coming together as a community and feeding yourselves. That's what it is. You know, the community could be as large or as small. It doesn't matter the size of the community. It's the camaraderie and the fellowship that you can have from this as well. And there it is. Aliyah, well done on your film. Has it already been assessed?
Yes.
And how did you do? I'm curious now.
I did well.
All right.
I did well.
Congratulations.
So.
Well done, well done. Very proud of both of you. Continue to inspire yourselves, continue to inspire your community, continue inspiring all of us, really. Maria and Aliyah Joseph, they're in the husbands community, and you know, Neighbors in Boots is now a thing for the future. And here's hoping many, many others follow in your footsteps, literally. Thank you so much and all the best.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome indeed. Aren't they absolutely delightful? What an inspiring story. Here, so it inspires you to try it. You know, and if it's the community thing that you're cautious about, do it with your family then. Just have a little family get together and you decide, here's a piece of land, here's how we'll plant our own food and we'll feed ourselves. And eventually from your excess, you can share with others around you. Then you'll find that your community begins to get involved as well. So let's start that today. Great idea. We'll take a break right here, and Morning Barbados continues in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 15 minutes now to go to the hour of 7 o'clock here this Monday morning on Morning Barbados as we turn our attention to the ongoing charity fun walk and run hosted by the Barbados Defence Force. Joining us this morning as we get an update on how it's been going thus far is Lieutenant Ramon Blackman, who is a platoon commander with the BDF. Lieutenant Blackman, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Pearson.
Good to have you indeed. Let's remind everyone about this, the charity fun walk and run hosted by the Barbados Defence Force. Explain it, what you're trying to achieve so we get our feet back into it.
Okay, the BDF virtual charity walk and run, it began on the 1st of March this year, and it allows persons to register to compete a required amount of miles at their own convenience in a safe way over a period of 6 months. All right, the aim of the event since its inception in 2016 is to assist Barbados' health services in combating non-communicable diseases, encourage physical activity and general physical fitness, as well as to raise funds for the Precious Touch Foundation, Inc., which is a charity here in Barbados which grants wishes to terminally ill children.
So to raise those funds, it's a charity event, and as well as virtual, you're also asking people in registration to be able to make donations. Am I reading you correctly?
Yes.
Good. So how has it been going so far, by the way?
So far, we've been doing pretty well. I would say from the time it started, we have clocked 48 participants, as well as a total distance of 147.81 kilometers completed so far.
You're happy with that?
It's a very good start. I would say it's a very good.
So now it's for us to pick up the pace and do better, right?
Yes, sir.
So, there we are. That's the information, right? The distance covered thus far. How does it work, though, for anyone who registers? Having registered, what do you do so you can track the distance traveled?
What you can do in order to track your distance, you can use apps like there's one called Relive, and there are other apps that you can use, the pace count on your smartphone as well. Those things can be used to record distance or even recording.
So
actually do the
actual video recording?
You can do a video recording. Okay. You can record yourself on a treadmill and upload that as well.
All right. So let's walk it through for a second. So what site do we go to register?
Okay. The event link is on www.bdfbarbados.com/BDF-walk-run.
That's a lot. So bdfbarbados.com is the website?
Yes, please.
And once we get there, then we look for the information from there. Now we're into stage 2 of your virtual charity walk run, which would have started from the 1st of May and it completes stage 2 by the 30th of June. So again, we go and we have time still to go and register. It's not a competition. We're giving money towards this charity as we do it. But we're also developing very healthy lifestyles. So we go to the website bdfbarbados.com and we register. Having registered, then we begin to track our distances, track our miles, because in registration, what's the registration fee?
The registration fee is for an adult $30, children it's $12. Good. And participants receive a t-shirt after completion of the event as proof of miles completed, and it's going to look something like this.
That's nice.
And it will have, each one has the year of the event here printed on the front,
right,
as well as our sponsors on the back.
Yes. And we can wear this very, very proudly. So registration comes with a little bit of something, folks. You get a shirt, for sure, but you get fitness at the end of it all, indeed, when you walk or you run. And you're saying that we can either go onto the physical roads or our tracks, wherever we choose to, or we can do it on our treadmill.
Yes, and this was with our current climate in mind, given that we are going through the pandemic, COVID-19, and we would also want to encourage any and everyone to participate. So those who may be at a little bit more risk, you can do it in the comfort of your own home, if you have an access to a treadmill or somewhere where you feel comfortable doing it, as opposed to being out in mass on the road.
I think it's a very worthy cause to get involved in. You know, there are many who have decided to adopt all sorts of fitness regimes, and while you're doing that, you're making a contribution to a very worthy cause, the Precious Touch Foundation. So register through the Barbados Defence Force, bdfbarbados.com, and pay your registration fees, and then still get on with your fitness campaign. The point is that you're donating, and in doing so, you're helping those who need assistance in some way. Can you tell us a little bit about the Precious Touch Foundation for those who may be having a question as to what is that foundation about?
Okay, the Precious Touch Foundation is a charity that was formed so
Oh dear, we're going to try to get Lieutenant Ramon Blackman back. You know, as technology would go, technology goes. But certainly want to encourage you to go to the website, bdfbarbados.com, and look for all of the links to registration. Registration can be for the adult or the child. There are various levels of registration, but on registering, you're asked to monitor your walk or run, whether it is outside in the sun or the night, or if it is on your treadmill in a particular room. Doesn't matter. You track it, then you submit it, because those miles can bring you benefits at the end of it all. All participants will receive, as you would have seen before, that t-shirt that says, I've done it, and you wear your t-shirt with pride. So stage 2 of the BDF Virtual Charity Fund Walk started on May 1st, concludes June the 30th, hosted by the Barbados Defence Force. So you select and you fill out the form which applies, and in doing so you fill out either the participants form or the donors form. You don't have to participate clearly if you don't want to, but you can donate. And in donating, you will see we have been crawling the numbers on the bottom of your screen all through the segment, so you can see for yourself the many ways in which you can join in lending support to this very worthy cause, to the Precious Touch Foundation. The Precious Touch Foundation itself is a non-charitable organization that provides opportunity for those who are finding it difficult physically and health-wise, and so they want to give that person or those persons opportunity to be able to enjoy life, to see the beauty of living. And so they do so through a Precious Touch. You can be a part of that effort as well. They're a non-profit team, and they want you to lend your support to the effort there, the Precious Touch Foundation, helping children. And many children have benefited from their support as they go. You can see their smiles as they live their dream. They just live their dream, rendering service to little ones who are in great need of help. So your giving helps to bring smiles to the faces of those who are struggling health-wise. So we have our connection back with Lieutenant Ramon Blackman. Lieutenant, sorry about that. You got stuck. I don't remember where you got stuck anymore. That's the truth. Do you remember what you were telling me? You were in the process of explaining to me what Precious Touch Foundation was about.
Yes, sir. It is a charity organization that was formed with the sole intent of giving terminally ill children an opportunity to have a wish granted to them. And that wish could be just about anything. And what the organization would do is try to make that wish a reality for that child.
Yeah, there are many wishes. You know, I wish to go, I wish to be, I wish to have, or I wish to meet. Many wishes that they try to meet with the Precious Touch Foundation. And so registration helps to be able to fulfill those wishes as well. I saw there in signing up, you can sign up as a participant or you can sign up as a donor as well.
Yes.
Now,
yes, you can.
Payment for registration is done online, or does it have to be done in person, or can it be done in person as well?
It can be done in person as well. And just there's some contacts that you can call in order to do that as well, but it can be made online as well.
So in registering, you can take the link and you process it right the way through, and it's taken from your account. Or if you do not have one of those setups and you want to go pay in person, where do we go?
If you pay in person, one of the persons to contact is one of the organizers of the event, Miss Harriet Clark. And she can be contacted at 536-2912 or 836-3160.
Let me repeat those numbers to Harriet Clark. There are 536 2912-536-2912 or 836-3160. 836-3160. Make your payment for having registered as well. So we're going to do this, folks. We're going to do this. But above all, you build a very healthy lifestyle. And if it's your starting point, that's okay. It doesn't matter. There's no competition on here. There's no requirement for you to have lost 20 pounds by the end of whatever period. It is that you are lending your support to a worthy cause while also attending to your physical fitness and building back up your health through the BDF virtual charity fun walk and run. And so stage 2 now goes until the 30th of June. And you would have started in March, so you should end in September. That's the end of stage 2 in June. So what happens in stage 3? Does it start right away from the 1st of July?
Yes, it does. And I have an update for you. What I was looking at for the completed miles was for the first stage. At the 7th of June, we have 49 participants, and the distance completed so far is actually 527.45 kilometers.
Ooh, stage 2 was really powerful.
Yes.
That's great. That's fantastic. Real people put in real work in stage 2. We want even more real people to put in greater work in stage 3. So if you're thinking you're a little late for stage 2, that's okay. You can still join now. But to get ready also for stage 3, you can go to bdfbarbados.com to register. And in registration, you get a t-shirt, and you wear your t-shirt with pride, having completed the stages as well as you go. Lieutenant Ramon Blackman, I want to thank you for joining us this day. And is there anything else you'd like to share so that people really join and be a part of this?
It is a pleasure to be here, sir. And there are also incentives for those who want to make it a competition. I mean, aside from the participants receiving a t-shirt, you have medals for first, second, and third male and female in adult, soldier, and child categories. All participants who complete the Stage 1 BDF virtual walk and run and provide the miles completed via email to mwrcbdf@gmail.com will also receive the t-shirt at the end of the stage. And all participants are also encouraged to submit their names, miles completed, time the miles were completed in, and the date to the same email address, mwrcbdf@gmail.com. Persons interested in actually competing for exclusive limited edition rewards are also encouraged to submit this information, and this is using their preferred fitness app. I would have mentioned Relive before, but there are others, and indicate the amount of miles completed in one run and the date of completion to the same email address. And the rewards will be based on participants' time of completion of the walk or run, and they will be awarded for second or third place finishers in the participant categories of soldier, adult, and child. And the special prizes also include the first to register in each stage, the eldest to complete the event in each stage, most miles completed in each stage, and again, the proceeds and prizes will be given at a ceremony on the 2nd of September 2022, which is a Saturday.
Right, and all of this information we can find on the website bdfbarbados.com. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Ramon Blackman, for joining us this morning to share with us and to remind us the urgency, one, but also the need for us to be a part of this virtual charity fun walk and run. All the best with the effort going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hello, I'm Shane Seeley with your headline news on this Monday. Residents and businesses in parts of St. Lucie being told to brace for low water pressure or outages in a few hours' time. People living in Durham's, Gemmett's, Rock Hall, Mount View, Glendalough, Josie Hill, Peters's, Mount Gay Village, Churchill, Alexandria and surrounding areas are being urged to store water as soon as possible as the Barbados Water Authority resumes swabbing on an 8-inch main between Half Acre and Josie Hill. In a release on the BWA's Instagram page, bwa.bb, the authority explains the swabbing is being done between 10 this morning and 6 in the evening, and it forms part of the BWA's action plan to address the ongoing problem of discolored water in the St. Lucie distribution system. Water tankers are being dispatched to the affected areas. In other news this morning, a total of 73 people, 34 males and 39 females, tested positive for COVID-19 from 484 tests conducted on June the 18th by the Best dos Santos Public Health Laboratory. So on Saturday, the number of people in isolation facilities was 25, while 924 people were in home isolation. One person, an 87-year-old female, succumbed to the virus, bringing the number of COVID-19 related deaths here in Barbados to 472. The total number of people who are fully vaccinated stands at 153,231. Pamela Edwards is the winner of the 2022 Caribbean Catalyst Craig Nurse Scholarship Award. Edwards, a final-year accounting student at the University of the West Indies, was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which affected her mobility. Despite the challenges, she is determined to finish her degree by December this year.
MS indeed had delayed the completion of my degree program, but I never give up. The scholarship would offer assistance in covering these financial expenses associated with completing the degree. I encourage anyone who has a disability to never stop dreaming and pursuing those dreams. You are here for a purpose. Indeed, we are all here for a purpose. You are capable of accomplishments and achievements, so go after them.
And the managing director of Caribbean Catalyst Incorporated, Roz Jackson, believes the COVID-19 pandemic has made the award now in its 18th year even more urgent and important. In sports, some big news for the West Indies as they wrapped up the first test early in the first half hour of play on the fourth day to beat Bangladesh by 7 wickets in Antigua, needing just 35 more runs to win. John Campbell, with 58 not out, his first half-century in the Caribbean, and his vice-captain Jermaine Blackwood, who was unbeaten on 26, got the team past the target of 84 in style, finishing on 88 for 3 after an early scare. Here are the highlights.
Last flick over should be first boundary of the morning.
Cut away. 50 partnership comes up.
With the boundary, 23 required. Over short and wide. There's a cracking cut from Campbell.
That one sneaks through. Excellent from John Campbell. Just have to wait to see if that came off the bat. It might just be a third test match half-century. It is for John Campbell and his first half-century in the West Indies. And you were just mentioning secretly how important this knock will be for him as we go deeper into the series. Excellent from the young man.
Certainly played well and deserved to get that 50. Nice sweep shot, just paddling down to final leg for 4.
And that's it. That's the game. Finishes it off in style. John Campbell, a win for the West Indies in this opening test. And congratulations all around.
And here's what the West Indies captain Craig Brathwaite had to say about the win.
I think as a group we batted over 100 overs, which was good as well, and would have like a little more runs in the first innings, but I still think it was a good effort.
And bowling-wise, the West Indies, they were quite spectacular. How would you describe this effort, and what are some of the things happening behind the scenes to produce this type of penetration and discipline?
Well, I think obviously the coaching staff is doing a very good job. I think Kemar Roach is really leading from the front, both on and off. And I thought how we bowled first day, really summed it up. Obviously the pitch had some moisture, but it didn't mean that you're just going to roll over them. I thought the lines and length we bowled, especially early on, we didn't take long to get in stride. I thought that was superb, and that basically set the tone, for the game, and I think that was a big effort.
The second test bowls off on Friday in St. Lucia, and of course you can catch the action live on MCTV's ESPN channel and on 94.7 FM, the best 24/7. We'll take a break here. Pearson comes back to join you with more on Morning Barbados in a few moments.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're approaching 10 minutes after 7 o'clock. Still to come, a chance for me to tie up your head this morning. You better believe it. So look out for that opportunity for you, and I had to have a little bit of fun in the morning. But let's turn our attention now to another one of those very inspiring stories. A man whose name some of you may not know, but his idea you do know, and that's because it's gone global. I'm talking this morning about Remote Work Barbados, and joining us is the Chief Executive Officer of Remote Work Barbados, Peter Thompson. Good morning to you, Mr. Thompson.
Good morning, Pearson. Good morning, Barbados.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, all of us know of the Welcome Stamp program by Barbados that was touted by our Prime Minister, Mia Amor-Mott, that became quite a global phenomenon. How does it feel to you to know that your idea went so global?
Well, it was an idea at the right time. Timing is everything. But really, an idea without implementation is worth just about nothing. And so what made the difference is the brilliant implementation by the Morton-led government. I have had interactions with governments all over the world over my life. And I have to say, basically, I was asked by a member of the government's Jobs and Investment Council to present the idea in a 2-page memo. I wrote the memo, and she got it at the end of April 2020. Within 8 weeks, she had announced the program, and within 12 weeks, it was operational. That is certainly a record for Barbados. It is certainly a record in the Caribbean, and it is probably a global record for responsiveness of a national government.
We had a pandemic that threw everyone into a loop, a tailspin, wondering where do we land, how do we sort life back out again. But you had an idea. So when you were invited to put your idea into a 2-page memo, where did your idea crystallize in the first place? That you would have thought, let's do remote work Barbados, and whether it's called Welcome Sample or whatever, it's remote work Barbados. So where did this all start for you?
Well, it started, I have to confess, in arguing with strangers on the internet. It's one of my bad habits. But I was arguing in a forum with tourism experts, people who knew much more about the tourism industry than I do then or now. And I was trying to explain to them how serious this pandemic was going to be, because they were talking about reopening. This was in April 2020, they were talking about reopening in November 2020. And I was trying to explain to them that just was not going to happen. And so after I made some inroads with the data in getting them to understand that, they asked me, well, what should we do? And I took the question seriously.
Yes. And that seriousness is what led to what we have today. Who are you? You know, there's some who are watching to say, well, all right, you know, you could argue all you want, but who are you to be able to come up with such an idea and to be as creative as you are? What's your experience in anything like this? How do you respond to that question?
I grew up in Barbados, but I spent 40 plus years in North America, and I got back to Barbados in 2017. And I came back with an agenda. I came back because, you know, I benefited from growing up in this wonderful place. I'd benefited from a really good secondary school education. And then I ran away. And it occurred to me that I owed something back. So I came back. My expertise is as a management consultant. I'm a management consultant. I've had a successful career, mostly consulting for mission-driven organizations, not driven organizations. Organizations like hospitals and museums and other socially beneficial non-profit organizations. The thing that I recognized is that remote work is essentially the biggest organizational evolution of a capitalist economy in the past 100 years. And that this opened an opportunity for Barbados to reinvent its entire economy. So it wasn't even really just a response to the pandemic. Remote work in Barbados is a chance for us to reinvent our economy into a 21st century economy. It is the way we are going to evolve beyond just tourism.
What inspires you, Peter Thompson? You're going into areas that traditionally most people did not. There are things about you that most people don't understand, but there are things about you that you understand. What is it that makes you tick so that you come up with these ideas? You know, sometimes you just go to work, we present ourselves, and that's it. But you don't just wake up to present yourself. You think. What is it?
I probably, and it's timely, just past Father's Day, I probably should give a lot of credit to my late father. He was an eye surgeon here in Barbados for many decades. And he, after he graduated as an eye surgeon, he had the chance to set up practice in Canada or the USA or the UK, but he chose to come back to Barbados. And I think that sense, not only of love of Barbados, but of obligation to help people who are not quite as lucky as oneself.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like an obligation. It's actually a joy.
Mm.
So I'm having the time of my life here in Barbados. And I think of myself as just extraordinarily lucky to have, just the circumstances which have allowed me to be able to contribute.
Your humility is very, very heartwarming watching it today. Now, as you sit where you sit and you observe other goings on in our society, you think that we can be a world-class society. You know that you've introduced now the remote work program. What else do you think we need to shape up on in Barbados so that we become a far more efficient community?
Well, it's cultural, and we have to grow and evolve our own culture. But we have a chance to do it, and we have a chance to do it through remote work. You see, Remote Work Barbados isn't just about bringing foreigners to Barbados to work remotely from here. The much, much more important part of it is evolving to a place where thousands and thousands of Bajan households are supported by work that they do remotely for European and UK and North American organizations, and work that pays at these types of global rates. There is no reason that we should not build a very thriving middle class, earning $100,000 a year per household, working from their own homes in Black Rock and St. Joseph and wherever they happen to be. And that is the route to growth in the Barbados economy. It is the route to more prosperity throughout the society, because when a household earns $100,000, they spend it on their neighbors' goods and services. And so the beneficial effect spreads far, far beyond the household that's actually employed. And so, yeah, we are building this type of organization with partners, with partnering with aspects of the government, and we're going to build an organization called Welcome Habitat, which will bring together expats, and welcome stampers, and local entrepreneurs, and we are going to build an economic engine to power Barbados through the coming decade.
That's interesting, rather interesting. But you're quite right, it requires a cultural shift in the way we think and we see ourselves in relation to the rest of the world and the services that we can offer. But it's also going to be built on an infrastructure that allows us to be able to achieve the things that our minds will take us to achieving. And that in itself takes time, but it also takes effort. So where does the effort come from? Does the effort come simply from the individual, or does it come from government?
The effort comes from both, but individuals are the components of society. Government is just an organization to kind of organize the things we need to organize, like garbage collection and healthcare and public education. We cannot rely on government for entrepreneurial innovation. That's not their job. The government has to always, one, be very careful stewards of public money. They can't, be providers of risk capital to entrepreneurs. That's not their job. Entrepreneurs and the society at large needs to understand that innovation is an absolute necessity. It's not an option. And that innovation is best driven by meeting people's needs, not by greed.
Well said. You know, yours is such a fascinating mind. I wish I had more time to engage with it this morning. But Peter Thompson, good to meet you, the man behind Remote Work Barbados, the man really behind the Welcome Stamp program that was piloted by our Prime Minister, has become now quite a global phenomenon, and it's a great opportunity as you expand it for us to be able to engage with it, and we can't wait to hear more about what you do next, Mr. Thompson. Thank you so very much for joining with us this morning, and congratulations on all that your mind can conceive. You're so fortunate. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Pearson.
You're very welcome. Peter Thompson, the Chief Executive Officer of Remote Work Barbados, joining us this morning. Now you know he's the man behind the Welcome Stamp program, which we've piloted here in Barbados and has reaped such success. Thanking him for his brilliance. We'll take a break right here and we'll come right back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It's 24 minutes now after 7 o'clock as we engage now with the Queen's Mindset, and they're having the battered, bruised, but not broken, all-white Gatsby affair. It's a ladies' buffet brunch, and joining us to talk a little bit more about that is Kamisha King, who is of the Queen's Mindset. We know her well here on Morning Barbados, and with her, let me see if I get the name right, pardon me if I don't, Chipo Nyando. Oh, all right. Kamisha, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you doing, Pearson?
I'm well, just as I wanted to practice it. Just as I wanted to practice my pronunciations. That's all right, though. But good to have you.
Yes. Thank you for having me. And good morning to Barbados.
Indeed. You're having this big thing coming up, girl. This big thing. And you know, as I was reflecting on The Great Gatsby, you remember that novel, 1925, by Scott Fitzgerald, you know, and the way they dressed, the way they spoke, the way they comported themselves. I kept thinking, is this what that is about? So when we talked about battered, bruised, not broken, what are you talking about?
So we're talking about battered, bruised, not broken. We're already peeling back some layers because women have walked through so many things in life. So at this session, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be creating a space for empowerment. We're empowering women. We're going to be able to reboot them, you know, reset them and re-transform them so that they can go forth and achieve the things that they want. Because it doesn't matter where you have been and what you have been through, that does not stop who you are. So we're there to discover that thing, you know, that it has life dormant and you're not persistent to push through. So that's what this is really about.
And you'd like to see some of those battered, bruised women come. It's not just for those who are all powerful who felt they've achieved it all, but I mean, even though those who felt they've achieved it all also have areas of bruise, and so they too need some resolution. So it's an all ladies, all white affair. It's a brunch, a buffet brunch. When is it, and where is it?
It's happening on June 25th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Savannah Beach Club Hotel there in Hastings, Christchurch.
Now, brunch doesn't last 5 hours, so therefore, let's walk through what happens on that day. So I see you have a cast of some excellent speakers who will be sharing. So share that with us.
Right, so we're going to be having Dr. Suzette Husbands. She's going to be sharing on the will to love again. We're going to have our very own Karita D from Girlfriend Gets Life. She's going to be doing a session called I Am Healed. And then we're going to have Dr. Denise Charles, and she's going to be talking about moving from pain to power. And then our featured speaker, really excited about her to have her here on the island, and that's Jippo Leandro Kunizi. She's from Zambia, but she resides in the UK, and she's going to be talking about empowerment. And then for our panelist discussion now, we're going to have Patrina St. Hill, Shakira Trotman Chase, and Carrie Clark. And we're going to have that discussion on battered, bruised, not broken.
So this is a session for the ladies to come together. You know, I could hear the men say, you know, when you put a lot of women together, we're going to talk about, you know, but that's not what the session is about. It's not a case where you're going to batter and bruise men. It's an opportunity for ladies to share among themselves and to lean on each other, right?
Yes, correct. That's
but you know I'm right. That's the perception that men will have, is like, oh dear, you get them all together, they're gonna sit there and cluck till thy kingdom comes. So using the words that the guys would say. So here it is then. So for anyone who wants to be a part of it then, how can they make themselves available? What do they do?
I am so happy you asked that question, Pearson, because just yesterday I got some really great information. I couldn't wait to share, said the best person to share with this person. I'm serious. So we got a sponsor to come on board. And guess what? Because this sponsor has come on board, it gives the opportunity for us to have a 50% discount on tickets. So tickets right now, original price is $200, but because of this sponsor, we get to offer tickets at half that price.
Fantastic.
That's 8 a.m. we only have 25 seats, so they have to be really quick. We only have 25 seats within the next 24 hours, and that is $100 Barbados. And I'm super excited because it gives another woman an opportunity to come out.
Well, this is great. So, ladies, you only have 24 hours to grab these next 25 seats. So, grab them fast. So, how can they grab them fast? Where do they go? What do they do so that they really grab this bargain?
So, you can go directly to our box office. That's Motor Press and Prayer Boutique in town opposite Fairchild Street Bus Terminal. You can go directly there, or go onto our website and you can register there on our homepage. You just click the link, it takes you through the registration process. You can purchase online, or you can purchase your ticket online, or you can just be able to go and pay cash if you don't have online resources to do online. You go directly to our box office and you can pay there.
This is
and
really
our
good.
Website.
Go ahead.
Oh, right. I didn't say the website. Our website is www.queensmindset.net. And for those persons who might not be, electronic savvy, internet savvy, just call me at 258-3544.
Now listen, I would not let you forget the website too. You know that. You can trust me, girl. But you can call 258-3544. 258-3544 again. 258-3544. And you can get to know more. You can register with our good friend here, Miss Queen's Mindset, Kamisha King. And you can be a part of it. It's on Saturday, is it? The 25th?
Yeah.
It's this Saturday.
This Saturday. Saturday.
But we want you to get all dressed up, ladies. Get all dressed up in all white. Show your purity of purpose. And be there on Saturday from 11 in the morning at the Savannah Beach Club Hotel.
Yes, that's it. That's the place to be. And I know some persons have been asking, where do I find Gatsby in Barbados? So there's some options. You can either get something made from your needle worker, or you can purchase a white dress and dress it up, accessorize it with your Gatsby the attire. So you can have like the gloves, you can have the fascinators, you can go to Harmony or Jason's to receive that. They're the fishnet stockings. You can go to Abed's to get some feathers. So you can be able to be creative by some pearls, you know. You don't have to have the full outfit, but once it's white and you dress up, that's it.
It's period pieces, folks. And for ladies watching who are registered, who are wondering, what does that look like? You go online. It was 1925. It was a period of time when the ladies were glamorous and life was dark, but it was beautiful nevertheless. And so here's a chance for you to get all dressed up fancy and everything and be free to be a part of it. Battered, bruised, not broken. You're not broken. Let's show the beauty of the vessel you truly are. And you can go to the Savannah Club, Beach Club Hotel on Saturday from 11 in the morning. It's an all-white affair, brunch and buffet, but it's also a great 5 hours for you to sit, hear from the international speaker and the other local speakers and panelists and share, because that's also what it's about, isn't it? Sharing your own stories.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And listen, and I'm super excited about the giveaways. First, and when I saw the giveaways, I literally want to know if I could win. Like, I really want to win because we have some amazing sponsors who have come on board. So we have like Moda, they're on board. We have Beautify Secrets, we have Alim Global, that's have Infinity Beach Hotel, we have Sea Breeze Beach Hotel, we also have some have a spa that's already on board too as well, A&B Heavenly Touch. I mean, the lineup is crazy. Sports Barbados is there. I mean, people are going to be winning money. Like, I'm like, just let me win, you know? Like personally, I think that I could win. Do you think so?
I think so too. I really do think so. At least give you a little something, you know, for all the work you've done. Indeed, it's a Queen's Mindset. Remember, folks, queensmindset.net. You go on the line there and you can learn more about what it is. If you have not yet already registered, you need to do so today, because today for the next 24 hours, there's a special discount, right, Kamisha?
Yeah, special discount, 50% off. That's only $100. Come on. Don't waste time. Don't waste time.
As one of my former colleagues would say, don't dilly-dally. Do not dilly-dally. Just get on to it, indeed. All-white Gatsby affair. A great opportunity for ladies. Look at the pictures there. Look at the pictures on your screen. That's what you can look like. Look. Stunning. That was a style. That's the fashion. That's what you can look like as well on Saturday when you head over to the Savannah Beach. I think it's going to be quite a showstopper. I can see people driving by, somebody say, wait, what's going on here? Look how she's stepping into Savannah. And that's what you want. You can step beautifully indeed.
Yes, indeed. And listen, the brunch, I'm telling you, the brunch is a buffet brunch. Picture it. You can pick whatever you want, how much ever you want, you know, for that period of time that the buffet table is open. It's amazing. Yeah. I am excited, not only just for the information, but for the food.
Kamisha, listen, you have the gentlemen who work in my production crew who said, wait, the fellas could come? They want to dress up like Gatsby too.
They can drop the women off.
Dress similarly, drop them off, but you know, and you can feel all dressed up as well, gentlemen. But really, it's an all-ladies affair, and it's for all ladies, all female speakers, all powerful women who will be sharing with you, ladies, indeed. And certainly you want to get in now by getting your ticket. You can go to Moda's Per Sempre Boutique in Fairchild Street. You said it's opposite the bus terminal on Fairchild Street?
Yes.
Now you see me there, I'm trying to picture it here in my head. Opposite.
Okay, if you know where KFC is, just come down on the same side of KFC. Just come down just a little bit. It's the only boutique on that end.
Oh, okay.
Literally on the end.
Clearly have
right
to go
before you get to the park.
Oh, okay, I got you now. I see where it is now. I really have to take my time and look through town as I go through town. So that's where it is. Or you can go onto the website, queensmindset.net, and reserve your ticket there as well. So the earlier you do it, folks, the greater the benefit. But the greatest benefit comes on Saturday from 11 in the morning at the Savannah Beach Club Hotel there in Hastings, where you can definitely benefit from a whole cast of people. Remind us once again, Kamisha, who are the speakers, and so that we get all excited again.
So we're going to have Dr. Suzette Husbands, we're going to have Corita D, Dr. Dennis Charles, We're going to have our featured speaker, Chipo Leandro Pinizzi, and our panelists is Patrina St. Hill, Shakira Trotman Chase, and Carrie Cox.
And of course, Kimisha will be there in between it all. So get all fancy free, ladies. Have a great time on Saturday. All the best, Kimisha. Great success to you as you continue to heal our women. And our society is stronger when our women are stronger too. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Bye-bye indeed. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock as we turn our attention to the work of the Christchurch Foundation School PTA and the efforts they're putting on to help raise funds to assist the school. Joining us this morning is the president of the PTA, Diana Weeks-Marshall. Good morning to you, Mrs. Weeks-Marshall.
And good morning to you, Pearson.
Good to have you indeed. I'm going to be calling you Diana going forward, okay, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's talk a little bit about, you're having coming up a flea market and car wash. It's on this weekend. Why are you having this?
Okay, great. Well, we are we have a number of projects that we've identified around the school. The major one is the renovation of the library. Mm-hmm. So over the years, our library has, I guess, fallen into a state of kind of disrepair. So we really need to upscale the library. We would like to put in an AC unit in there, and just to make the whole, the tables and the chairs and the bookshelves and everything, more comfortable for the students to actually go into and to sit and to study. To make it more conducive to study for them. That's the major project that we have, that we've earmarked so far.
That's fantastic. I mean, Foundation is known for your scholarship. You've the number of people who have gone through there who have excelled at their education, and certainly the library is a critical part of their being able to hone the educational acumen. So I agree with you, and given the fact that nowadays learning is not just turning the pages of the book, physical book in your hand, but the technology, the use of technology, and the efforts from all of this helps to be able to enhance that experience for the child. So the flea market and car wash is this Saturday. Where is it? Is it on the school compound?
Yes, it is. It's actually a flea market, car wash, and a cake sale as well. So so we're also going to be having some other goodies as well. So the PTA, along with the canteen as well, will also be selling things like cuckoo and macaroni pie and chicken, fish, beef burgers, hot dogs, chicken wings, rice and stew, pizza, local drinks, steamed pudding, and fries. So feel free to come out, if you want breakfast, if you want lunch, if you want late, something to eat later on in the evening, feel free to come out and to get your car washed at the same time, and also to see what everyone else has on offer, and so you can make your purchases as well.
Everything on that menu I eat. This is so unfair, the choice.
Therefore, we'll be looking for you too, Pearson.
Indeed. So it's a case where we can actually come. The flea market allows you, for those of you who are looking for some very affordable items, to be able to do so affordably. And at these times, you need to be able to do so. So you go to Foundation School on Saturday to grab those market items in the flea market. Fellas, ladies all, you bring your car. You know, a lot of us have grown very weary of washing the car, so let someone else wash it for you for a nice nominal fee. So bring the car and have your car washed while you're there as well, but buy some food. So this is really going to be quite an affair on Saturday.
That's right. And there will also be music. So if you want to come and, you know, just listen to some music, or if you want to shake a leg, whatever, we have music by Ricky Carter, and he's the DJ. And, you know, we would like to invite, extend an invitation to all of the Foundation School old scholars, current parents and teachers, you know, come out and help us, assist us in any way at all that you can. We would be most grateful. And also to everyone in the surrounding communities and, you know, right the way across Barbados.
Indeed.
It's a worthy cause, and, you know, we really would appreciate the assistance.
Indeed. 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday till 5 in the afternoon. So if you went to foundation school, you have to go. If your child went to foundation school, you have to go. If you taught at foundation school, you have to go. If you live in the area, you have to go and lend your support. And if you did it at all for any of those things, you have to go, because the funds really go to refurbishing the library at the foundation school, the Christchurch Foundation School at the top of the hill. Consider yourselves, I know, a beacon, but that's all right. That's not my school, but still we support you.
Correct.
And so from 9 o'clock in the morning, we want as many people as possible to come by. The flea market, it will be there, and all sorts of items in the flea market, right, will be on sale?
That's correct. So yes, we have clothing, there will be books, personal care items, and anything else that anyone else chooses to sell will be there. Yes.
Something tells me, you know, I could see, because that's part of my movement area, that there's going to be quite a bit of traffic in the area. So we want to see in other words, block the road. That's okay.
We have lots of parking as well. So feel free.
Feel free to come by. Don't feel as if, oh my gosh, it's so congested. No, 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 no. You can come at your convenience, and you can come all day long. Spend the day there. It's a great opportunity to bring the children as well. You know, they'll have some fun while they're there.
That's correct. So we want to make it a nice, fun family day. You know, so come and spend the whole entire day. You know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, everything for the children. Lots of fun, lots of music. Maybe, you know, ask the DJ to play your favorite tune and maybe sing along.
It's a real deal of fun. So here it is. The PTA is raising funds to assist the library efforts in the library there at the Christchurch Foundation School. But working in the PTA itself, you know, at times it can be a bit daunting. You feel as though I'm getting the same old 5 people showing up all the time. How active is your Parent-Teacher Association at Foundation School?
Well, our Parent-Teacher Association at the school is relatively active. We're actually looking to get even more of our parents involved. So this is one of the activities that we will use to do so. But also when the new school term opens up, because, you know, with COVID the past 2 years, everything has been fairly quiet. So we're looking to actually revive and invigorate the works of the PTA and also the school. Now that schools are becoming a little more open, you know, we have all of the COVID-19 protocols for the fair, but also when we do go back into the next school year, you know, we're hoping to have a few more face-to-face meetings utilizing all of the COVID-19 protocols naturally, but so that we can once again, I guess, touch bases with our parents and also get to know the children of the school, and so that we can have the interaction between both the parents and the children and the teachers, you know, at the school once again.
Because I was going to ask you, how important do you think it is for there to be that healthy relationship between all of you, the constituents of that school community?
Well, for me as a president as well, I think it's very important. I don't believe that you can have a PTA without the teachers. And, you know, over the years, you know, we may have seen some teachers not really express an interest or want to be involved or whatever. So, but I think that we have some really great initiatives planned for the next term, next school term, that we believe will get the teachers interested and involved in the PTA. So I'm hoping that that will be a success, and maybe, you know, maybe next year we can even come back and report on our initiatives and what we've done to get teachers involved and the parents involved, more involved in the PTA and the school.
You have just made me so curious about these initiatives. Which
I'm not letting anything out of the bag.
I was so hopeful I could get you to do so. This is fantastic, though. I'm glad to hear that the PTA itself is working on those initiatives to bring the community even closer together. One of my staff here, Kimberly Skeet, herself would have been a past student of the Christchurch Foundation School. I think Derry Bowen was as well, a past student of the Christ. So you see, you have them here at the CBC. So I say call on them. Call on them to assist
I'm calling. We're trying to make a list of all of the old scholars. And every time that I speak to an old scholar, Fabian Sargent is a prime example. I called him and I said, I wanted to know about a certain initiative that he had going. And he said, well, I'm actually an old scholar and I'm all on board. So, we get really, really good responses. We know that there are old scholars out there who want to be more involved. And all I can say is just make contact. You can contact us either through the school or, that's probably the best way because I can't remember the email address off of the top of my head. So if you call the school, they will, in the office, they will more than likely put you through to me or to anyone else on the PTA because we do work as a team. It's not just myself. We do have a full executive and they're all willing and able to work. So for example, this initiative that we have going on this Saturday, I have paid like that much. I have put maybe about that much effort into it because we have a whole team that has really worked really hard to put everything else together. So I think everybody was just a little shy to go on Mornin Barbados, so that's why I'm here.
The president had to go. The president had to go. That's all right. So, but the effort is one that the effort is one we commend, and we really want to commend everyone to join the effort indeed and to lend support. It's a flea market, car wash, you get some food food sale while you're there as well, but it's a family affair. All funds raised will go towards the refurbishment of the library, and they're working really hard to be able to do so. I know you have a very active Old Scholars Association there at the school as well. It gives scholarships. So it seems as if there's a lot going on at the Christchurch Foundation School, and we really want to commend you on all of it. So for those who now tuned in and they're wondering what's going on at the Foundation School, let's remind them.
Yes, so on Saturday, this Saturday, June 25th from 9 o'clock to 5 p.m. We will be hosting a flea market, car wash, and a cake sale. So it's on the school compound of the Christchurch Foundation School. I think everyone knows where that is, on the top of Oystins Hill, there by Church Hill, right next door to the Anglican Church. And, full COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. So therefore, we have all of our distancing, our spacings between the stalls, and we're not having any overcrowding. Everything will be adequately monitored. I do believe that we will have a police presence as well. And, lots of music, lots of fun, and, just good family entertainment.
Indeed. Bargains galore on food, clothing, books, and a whole lot more. So it's on Saturday, folks, from 9 in the morning. Diana Wheats-Marshall, President of the Christchurch Foundation School PTA, thank you so much for joining us. Every success to you and your team on the work that you're doing there at the school, and particularly on this weekend's activity as well. I hope you raise more than enough to be able to achieve the goals that you've set. And those initiatives, I haven't forgotten. When you're about to reveal, I'd like to know how they're going as well, all right?
No problem. Thank you very much for having us,
You're very
Pearson.
welcome. You're very, very welcome indeed. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Diana Weeks-Marshall, the President of the Christchurch Foundation School PTA, encouraging all of you to really join in supporting them on their flea market, car wash and cake sale, food sale this Saturday from 9 in the morning on the school's compound. Take the car to be washed and your car will love you for it. We'll take a break right here. When we come back, I am going to tie up your heads, so stand by for that.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Is a saying you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So we're 8 minutes now to go to 8 o'clock. You know, if you know me well enough, you know there's a bit of a clown in me. Yeah, time for us to have a little bit of fun. Here's what I'll do. I'll give you some letters on your screen. They're all scrambled letters, but they're letters that form a word when you unscramble those letters. And you give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563 and very quickly unscramble those words. Let's see how smart and how sharp you are. Easy, weasy, Japanesey. Promise you, there won't be anything terribly difficult. 228-5562 or 228-5563, they're all Bajan words. Or, well, words you're familiar with as a Barbadian. So, shall we go, team? Shall we go? What's word number one? Let's show them this scrambled word. Who can unscramble this word? Unscramble this. Fruitabrite. That's what it looks like to me, but what is this word? Unscramble it. I don't want the definition. Look at it very carefully. Look at those letters. What word can you make if you were to rearrange those letters? It is a word. It is a word. It is a word. So call me when you think you can. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Unscramble these letters to form a word. 228-5562 or 228-5563. It's a word that you know. As a matter of fact, I have one at home. Let me just make it easy for you. I have one, not the word. I have one of those things at home. Good morning to you. Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. What parish are you watching us from?
St. James.
St. James. Look at these letters. Fruitabrite. What word do you think this is?
I think I have it wrong.
Don't think it. Tell me what word. You're thinking what?
I was saying breadfruit, but it's wrong. Breadfruit doesn't have an I.
Breadfruit doesn't have an I?
Oh, yeah, it's breadfruit.
No. Spell breadfruit for me.
BREADFRUIT.
So why don't you think that word is fruitabrite?
It's breadfruit.
So you think it's breadfruit?
Yes.
You don't know fruitabrite?
It's breadfruit, yes.
So suppose the word I have in front, the letters I have in front of you are not scrambled.
Suppose it's not scrambled?
Yeah.
It is breadfruit.
You stick it to this, girl. You're absolutely right. It is indeed breadfruit. Well done. What's your first name?
Vashti.
Vashti, good to meet you. Thank you so very much for unscrambling this to read breadfruit. Well done. Okay. Well done indeed. Okay. All right. Thank you, Vashti. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Here we go now. We're going to give you another word, folks. Another word. So Vashti was on the ball. She doubted herself for just a moment, but then she collected her nerves. So another word. Here we go. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Unscramble these letters. There we go. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Unscramble these letters and tell me what word you get. It is a word. Bruce. Oh my gospel. My team is something else. Bruce. What does this mean? Give me these letters in order and let me hear what word you think it is. It is a word. You know this word. 228-5562. Bruce. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Nobody seems to be there. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Come on. You guys can do this word. You can do this. Vashti just got breadfruit out of that one. And now what do you think this word is? What word is this? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I am fine.
Very good. What parish are you watching us from?
I am calling from St. Philip, the lovely parish of Otterson in St. Philip.
Oh, so then you haven't been to St. Lucy, my brother, because you'll use those words as well about St. Lucy.
Okay.
What word do you think this is?
Breadfruit.
No, we just had breadfruit. What word is this one on your screen now?
Okay.
Do you know?
No. That's the one I had.
Try. Yeah, oh, you had the breadfruit all worked out.
Yeah.
Come on, you can see this word, Bruce. You don't think this is a word that you know?
Not at this present moment. I will have to
Not
think
at this
about
present.
it.
No problem. No problem.
On TV? No, I wasn't nowhere near the TV. Oh, God.
Oh, you aren't? Oh, okay. But thank you for calling. Thank you for trying. All right. Thank you, Mr. Augustine in St. Philip. 228-5562 or 228-5563. We got to be quick on this one, folks. Good morning. Hello.
Hey, good morning. Can you
Hi,
hear me?
what parish are you watching from?
St. Michael.
St. Michael. What's the word?
For what I could see, it looks like Republic.
That I don't want to hear what it looks like. I want to hear the word.
Republic.
Sure?
Affirm.
You sat down. Did you write it out and work out which letters go where?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
What's your first name?
Miracle.
Miracle?
Yes, please.
Oh, that's a beautiful name, Miracle. Well done, Miracle. You're absolutely right. It is indeed Republic. It doesn't look so at first glance, does it?
No.
I know, but that's the whole point. We're going to tie up your head this morning. Thank you so very much, Miracle. Well done. Thank you for trying and playing with us, okay?
Thank you.
All right, there we go. So we had 2 words down. My producer has more words on the list, but you know what? We'll hold those. Yes, indeedy. We shall hold those words. But you guys are doing great. Well done. Good eyesight. Just to remind you, the NCF is having a whole series of activities for you to be a part, to train your voices for the Barbados Community Folk Chorale. Those training sessions in the Northern Zone at the Roland Edwards Primary, Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8. Western Zone, the Frederick Smith Secondary, Mondays and Wednesdays, 6 to 8. The Southern Zone, you go to St. Michael's School Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 to 8. The Eastern Zone will be at Princess Margaret School, same time. The zonal sessions are conducted by folk chorale tutors, renowned musician Ryan Boyce and Ronald Davis, indeed. So here's hoping you lend your voice this. All the information is right there on your screen, but all the information will also be on our Facebook page. That's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. My producer has been Alicia Grant, Technical Director Ruel Ford, Sound Technician has been Christopher Blendman, at Master Control Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyne, wishing you all a lovely today. Hope to see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.